Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
It's Carl and Robert here.
I'm Robert Schoeman.
Thanks very much for the opportunity to be on this TED Talk, this Tech Talk, Bioremediation and the Plumber's Role. Thank you, OPSA, and Steve and Brandon. This has been a long time in the making, I think almost 4 years now. So this is an opportunity for us to help solve clients' blockage problems while helping naturally clean up our rivers from sewage and increasing revenue for the plumbers. So Robert, I'm sure you guys know him, also very active within the plumbing industry, the Champions for Charity Fight Night. He nominated AfriForum, which is your blue and green drop project. It was a close fight. I think it just lost, but it was a good one. And my name is Carl Odgers from Kleenhealth, and I'm also the chairman of the Henops Catchment Management Forum. So actively involved in cleaning up the rivers from Tembisa, Alex, Diepsloot. There's not many places, Hillbrow, Berea, and this one on the top right here is with us, Professor Chris Curtis and Julie Coetzee, and a whole lot of river warriors, Mark McClue from Armour at Hartbeespoort Dam. So we got a very good insight as to the damages that are happening within our rivers. We are all connected by water, rivers, and the oceans. Our interconnected waterborne sewage lines flow and feed into these connected river networks. And as we know, rivers are crucially important. That's where our water comes from. It literally flows down into the ocean and then gets recycled back to us. So we're asking to reconsider toxic or potentially harmful drain cleaners and to consider environmentally beneficial solutions, which you'll learn about shortly. There's a huge amount of discharging of polluted wastewater into the rivers, and this continuous discharging of untreated effluent into our rivers daily has contributed to a mass killing of fish and plant life and just the biodiversity in general. And then also your excess phosphates and nitrates, which feed the aquatic weeds and algae in the dams. And that's obviously the thing that feeds all the stuff that's on Hartbeespoort Dam. So this bioremediation, or microbes, and the plumber's role, it's a tool. It's a tool like your trusty monkey wrench. You can do many things on site, but if you don't have that monkey wrench, you're pretty much stuck. It's quite a unique tool there to help solve that problem. And we believe these microbes are a tool to help solve plumbing blockages without the use of any potentially toxic, acidic, harmful, or carcinogenic chemicals related to unblocking long-term buildup in pipes. And it is safe for fish, plants, and animals. And there's also some health advantages in treating toilets and drains using microbes. The bioaugmentation process converts the anaerobic sludge environment to aerobic, killing off the waterborne diseases. So basically it turns those solids into gas and into oxygen. Included in the blends are bacteria that compete with the cholera bacterium for food source and thus preventing cholera from spreading too. This is Steve exploring bulk organic fat trap waste remediation. So this is the middle dam that we built at one of the sites. The bottom dam, which you'll see shortly, was looking very similar to this. And so we trapped it at the top dam here, dosed this with natural harmless microbes, and then you'll see here now. So this was the bottom dam. There was no life. I think this was March. There's a little bit of life in the corner there, a bit of greenery, but the vetiver grass that they put in there just kept on dying, and it was just really not the way they wanted it to be. So after 2 months of dosing the water up at the top there, this bottom area here has just had a complete rejuvenation. The vetiver grass is regrowing. We've had 7 ducklings swimming on here. We've had herons eating frogs from here, 15 different bird species. So this really is an alternative to help fix the plumbing problems while also addressing the environmental problems. Are enzymes the same as microbes or bioremediation? And the short answer is no. Enzymes differ from bacteria. Enzymes are chemical in nature and not actually a living organism. And enzymes are present in numerous forms that are necessary for life. All living things, including humans, contain enzymes, that aid in a whole lot of things, including your digestion of food and breaking down of toxins. So they're very useful. But microbes are different to enzymes, where microbes or bacteria we utilize are naturally occurring bacteria found in waste that create enzymes to degrade the waste and aid in the remediation of the waterways. So the microbes are actually the factories that produce the enzymes. So this is a top-down tool, a tool for a top-down model, ideally for plumbers. It's like a probiotic. You know, when you go to the GP and they give you a course of antibiotics, and nowadays they're giving you a script for probiotics, and those probiotics are there to help restore the balance in your gut. I'm not a doctor, but you know, this is what they've told me. A tool in the form of a liquid, a powder, or a slow release block of natural microbes that break down fats, breaks down oils and greases and feces and organic waste. And what remains is cleaner water with reduced waterborne diseases. So as we can see, the flow there from our businesses, factories, homes, all of this is all connecting, and we can actually help be the solution to unblock our clients' problems, but also help this bigger problem. So as I said to you here, it's unblocking the long-term buildup of fats, oils, and greases, and sludge and feces. And those microbes are safe yet powerful. And ours can empty a pit toilet, a full pit toilet, in 2 weeks, eating the solids and reducing the waterborne diseases. So we did a project with UJ in the Eastern Cape. They had 12 pit toilets in a school with 350 learners, and 10 of them were full, and literally dosed those pits with the microbes. And within 2 weeks, they turned the solids into liquids, and the holes were empty without physically removing or moving anything. So the microbes have been used safely in large-scale wastewater treatment works for over 2 decades. So we're asking to reconsider, you know, what are your current drain unblocking solutions? Are they harmful? Are they toxic, acidic, or potentially dangerous? Do they harm fish or pollute water quality? So I'm going to hand over to Robert, who's going to talk about the use of these microbes in different case studies and sites.
Yeah. Other guys, yeah. So as you guys can see there, that is a shower trap waste fitting that came from a shower tray. And what happened there is the client had a blocked shower. He poured a bottle of drain acid down, and it actually started melting immediately, started melting the waste fitting, and also causing damage to his tray. And I'm sure that's the last thing you as plumbers would want to do, is throw acid down and then actually cause damage to the client's property. You know, melting their trays, you know, throwing it in their basin, and I mean, that's where the action happens. You guys throw the drain cleaner down, and all the action happens inside the trap. It's bubbling, it smells like it's working, but most of the time, you guys know that the blockage is further down the line. So by the time the drain acid gets there, it's already diluted by 50%. And that was also another case where the client used drain acid down his shower. He couldn't get the drain unblocked. We went out, we plunged the drain, and as we were plunging, all that stuff was coming out, which caused damage to the shower floor, which led to the client having to replace all his mosaics. So a lot of us guys are now doing jetting, which is great, it's working. But what great is about the enzyme, the microbes, that you can actually pour it into your storage tank for the jetting machine. So you don't have to worry about the drain cleaner smell. You know, there's no smell to it. You don't have to worry about the enzymes eroding and damaging the seals of your jetting machine. So as you guys, you know, when you guys go in, you clean the jets, you know, it's great. But if you think about it, you know, if you're washing your hands, you wash your hands with water, you know, it cleans your hands, but it doesn't take the grit out. So it's nice about the enzymes, it will actually attach to the fats in the drain and start cleaning up, eating away the fats that are that are still stuck to the pipes. Because we had a complex. We had a complex in Joburg where the drains kept on blocking every 3 weeks. You know, we jetted, we used drain machines, And 3 to 6 weeks, the plumbers were coming back. We were going back, and the client was getting very irritated with the drains not getting cleared. So what we did the enzyme treatment within the jetting. We'd send the jetting machine down the line. We cleared the whole line. For 18 months, we hadn't been back for a blockage on the main line again. The client was very happy that he said for almost 5 years, no one could get their drain. There were 3 to 6 weeks that everybody was coming, jetting with rods, with machines, and it just wasn't solving the problem. And also a big thing is what was happening is the drain as well had a lot of bellies in the drain. So a lot of the fats were lying in the bellies that was causing the blockage, and the complex didn't have the money to reline the whole, to redo the whole drainage line. Okay. Now, so what we found with what nice is about the microbes, a lot of us have that house or that complex or that office block where there's a bathroom right in the middle of the building. So it can't get vented properly. That people are using aerosols and they're using all these urinal blocks, trying to get rid of the smell, and it actually just continuously causes a smell. A lot of times you go into schools, there's always that smell of, especially the boys' bathrooms, of urinals smelling and all of that. So what nice is about the microbes, you can pour it into the urinals, and it won't cause stain the urinals, stain it with like the normal drain acids, and it actually starts to break down the crystals. As most of you guys know, urinals are probably one of the worst things to try and unblock. When that urine crystallizes, it's almost impossible to clear without breaking the pipes open and replacing the pipes. So that's also a great thing, that it breaks down the crystals with inside the pipes as well over time, and it also relieves a nice refreshing smell. So there isn't that constant odor of urine and sewer gases inside the bathrooms.
Yeah, and in that treatment that Robert was talking, so he was using microbes on that site, and then also a formulation that breaks down those urine crystals. So it breaks down that long-term problem. So there's an ongoing problem, and that's never going to stop. The ongoing problem is that people need to eat, and in that process of eating, you've got drains that are blocking and manholes that are blocking, and then regularly bursting and flowing into our stormwater drains, and then that flows into our rivers. When these burst manholes flow, they're making a mess down the street and outside of complexes and shopping malls and things like that, and it really is unsightly. And so, as Robert alluded, blowing out the plumbing lines with the jet trucks is very useful. It helps clear out that immediate blockage. But when you've got clearing out, let's say 30 meters of pipe, of one centimeter or maybe more of fat buildup, you're clearing 30 meters of pipe, but then that substance, that mass, those fats and organic waste doesn't go anywhere other than down the pipe. And so by adding the microbes and with enzymes, you're breaking down those solids into liquids and allowing the system to flow and remediate. So by treating your toilet and drain with microbes or probiotics, then you then clean out the long-term buildup of fat, salts, and greases. And this also clears out the foul odors without the use of toxic products. So an example, like a hairdresser, instead of asking the hairdresser to clear the going to the hairdresser at night when they've got no patrons, and having to dose then because the solutions from before would give off a foul odor. This it doesn't eat hair and things like that, but it breaks down the solids into liquids. It breaks down that glue effectively, so that those items that are stuck in the pipes can actually flow down. And so this top-down approach can help us collectively reduce burst manholes, which is a benefit for everybody. How can microbes help increase revenue stream? So we're solving long-term repeat problems. and to switch to, say, a monthly or a biannual treatment to ensure free-flowing drains. So as Robert said before, there was a complex, and they were continuously going out, and it's great for business to go out to site again, but eventually they're going to get to the point where they need another solution. And so if a complex doesn't have the budget to go and relay those lines, you've got an immediate solution that can help fix those smell problems and those blockage problems until they get the time to actually relay the budget to relay those lines. Clients, you can also contact your clients and introduce this environmentally beneficial model to help improve their waste footprint. And you can attract new clients seeking alternative natural solutions to waste and fat treatment. There's what we're finding now, 10 years ago, talking about these sorts of things was falling on deaf ears. But now when we're engaging with clients, there's a lot of companies that have international funders or internationally owned, and they have their international standards. So now they are literally pushing those standards to reduce your environmental footprint, to reduce your impact that you're making downstream. And so this is also helping us with this model, because it is a worthwhile and a sustainable solution. We can help improve the efficiency of your unblocking tools, the current ones you're using. And I mean, you can simply just pour these microbes into a bucket of water and pour it down the different drains and showers and kitchen sinks, or you can add it to a jet truck, whatever tools you're currently using. And then I know that our ops is doing a lot of talks on the fat traps and fat trap installation and these sorts of things. And this is a means to offer your clients, after the fat trap installation, you can ensure ongoing compliance, and there's also a maintenance revenue available there. If anyone's eating any breakfast, I do apologize. I just needed to show you some functional solutions here. So this is a pit toilet. Obviously, most of the sites you guys are dealing with are all connected sewer networks, but 1 week after dosing, you turn the solids into liquids and you break down the mass. So after 14 days, the toilet's empty. And this is just a shocking state of humanity here. So you unblock those toilets. So within 24 hours, the smell is gone. Even if you've had a sewage spillage outside a shopping mall down the road, you can literally just put some of these microbes and enzymes into some, even a watering can, and just go and pour it over that area there. And that smell will be gone. And that waste that's going downstream will help impact the downstream. Obviously, there's some inadequacy of emptying a pit toilet or, using those honeysuckers, where you're moving the problem from one side to another side. You might not necessarily be actually unblocking the actual problem. So if you can empty a pit toilet in 2 weeks, then just imagine what happens to the sewer line when you're dosing with this. So we're asking you to become part of the solution, using this down in your toilets and your showers and your drains. It can be used in septic tanks. It can be used in French drains. It can be used in pit toilets. And the same solutions that we use to fix a dam, as in a sewage polluted dam. We just did something recently with Joburg Water, where we had a sewage polluted dam in Roodepoort, in Allen's Neck, and we used the same microbes that we used to unblock the fats, oils, and greases. We used to actually pour down the drain to eat the fats, we used in the dam to break down that long-term buildup of sludge. And the same microbes that we poured into the toilets to break down the feces and organic waste are the same blend when we put it into a dam. It clears out the algae, it reduces your phosphates and nitrates, which are the food source of your aquatic weeds and things like that, and your water clarity improves. And what's amazing is how quickly the biodiversity starts to restore. So thank you very much for the opportunity here for us to present this bioremediation and the plumber's role on our OPS's Tech Talk. And we appreciate the time. So we can switch over to some questions if anybody's got any questions there. I think there's some in the chat here. Here we go. What about farm pesticides? Aren't they a big factor, also a big contributor? Yes, you're 100% right, Joe. You know, the pesticides, and also, you know, the minerals and nutrients that they're feeding the food, feeding the farms for the soils, for the plants. Obviously, that has runoff in that. So when we would dose a dam or a water body, you reduce those phosphates and nitrates and help that water body to restore its balance. There's another question here. I am operating in deep rural areas with a lot of pit toilets and septic tanks. Can it help me? Yes, I think I've just answered that one there. So this can literally empty a pit toilet, and it's a tiny amount of solution. You know, it looks like a bit like Pro Neutro, and it's like a couple of grams that fit in your hand, and you literally mix it into a bucket of water and pour it into the pit toilet or into the septic tank. And at every stage of the septic tank system, or even our large-scale wastewater treatment system, can benefit from more efficient waste. So that answers that question. Can it solve the problem of growing roots in the old systems also? Funny question, that. So I've had the pleasure of having to replace 50 running meters of plumbing in my house, and we've got some beautiful oak trees. And my friend who's the plumber, he came and he said to me, how have you lived in this house for 5 years? And when he sent me the pictures of how dense the roots were at the bottom of the garden, and my answer to him is that we were actually dosing the toilets, and so we're turning the solids into liquids. So we only noticed that there was a problem when there were, you know, when we had some family and friends over, and there were a lot of people using the system, and that's how it got backed up. But yeah, so we can't break down the roots. You know, this does break down organic waste and toilet paper and things like that. But what it does do is it clears out the glue, in inverted commas. And so, you know, the roots, you know, get the biofilm on them, and then they get glued up, and then, you know, they become more of a problem. So we can't get rid of the roots. You'd still need to get rid of those roots, but you're getting rid of the glue and the things that are holding in the system there. It looks like that is the end of those questions there. Are there any more questions that anybody has with regards to this?
Thank you very much. I don't believe there are any more questions. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this morning.